Thanks for joining me today. Let's talk about new Toronto Maple Leaf Alexander Barabanov. But before we get started, I just want to ask you to please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and don't forget to share this video, which would really help the channel out as well. You could also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you didn't know that already. Now, back to Barabanov, aka Barbasol. Yes, that was a shaving cream that took care of this lovely face back in my teenage years. Shout out to Left Coast Leafs podcast for that little gem. Now, according to the salary cap, to cap friendly, Barabanov is a winger. Now, he could play right wing, he could play left wing, but he does shoot left. He's 25 years old, but he'd be 26 in June. He's 5'10" and 192 pounds. So he's not that tall, but he's thick and hopefully a little mean. Now, they're going to be paying him $925,000 for 1 year, the 2020-21 season, of course. The signing bonuses take up just over $92,000 of that, and his minor salary will be $70,000. Now, we're looking at some of his stats here from HockeyDB. He's played 7 years with St. Petersburg SKA. In two of those years, he won the Cup, the Gagarin Cup with them, if I'm saying that correctly. Now, his coming out year was in the 2018-19 season, in which he played 58 games, had 17 goals, 46 points, 12 penalty minutes, was a plus 34. And in the playoffs, in 15 games, he had 3 goals, 5 points, which sort of is about average for him when it comes to the playoff figures. Now, this past season, 2019-20, in 43 games, he's had 11 goals, 20 points, with 22 penalty minutes, which is almost double his average. It was a -5, and then in 4 playoff games, he had 1 goal and 3 points. Now, in the 2014 World Under-20 Championships for Russia, in 7 games, he had 2 goals, 6 points, was a +3, and then just recently, in the 2018 Olympics for Russia, in 6 games, he had a goal, 2 points, and was a +2. Now, his numbers, especially this past season, don't really jump out at you, but don't forget here, a little side note, that once it's pretty normal in the KHL, once the coaches find out that you won't be coming back and you'll be leaving for the NHL, it really affects your ice time. So I couldn't find his average ice time anywhere on the net, but I'm sure that had something to do with it. Now, he also was a -5 this season. But that's not a regular for him. He's usually high, quite high in the plus category. Last season, he was a +34, as I mentioned. Season before that, +17, +20, +8, +3. He's only been a minus player in his first season, in which he was a -1, and in this past one as a -5. So, yeah. Now, looking at an article by Chris Johnston of Sportsnet, he's one of their insiders there. They have a chat with Sheldon Keefe, the Toronto Maple Leafs coach, and with Kyle Dubas, their GM. Sheldon Keefe doesn't say too much. He just says they're really excited about his experience and his skill set, and that he has a very high character as well. He checks off a lot of boxes, blah, blah, blah. He's one of those players you can fully expect to just jump in and play right away. Kyle Dubas, however, gets into a bit more detail. Saying he's not that tall, obviously, but he's a very strong winger. He said that he has tremendous playmaking ability. He's got great skill level in tight, but that one of the other things they like most about him is his ability to make plays under pressure and his ability to win pucks and protect pucks when people come after him, and use his strength to be able to do that. Now, to sum it up, they have him here as 5'9", by the way, not 5'10". So, yeah. But they also mentioned that in 101 KHL games over his past 2 seasons, he's had 28 goals and 66 points. I've seen some highlight reels myself. He looks pretty good. Now, I also tracked down a KHL reporter by the name of Igor Eronko, if I'm saying that correctly, on Twitter, who you can find him under the same handle. And he has a bit more insight about him here. He says that he's definitely got what it takes to be a full-time NHL player. He won't be a star, but he could become a great third-line player with the ability to move up and replace injured guys when he needs to. His skating is great, as well as his work ethic, and he's very strong, and he's a beast one-on-one. Now, he also says that his weak side is his shot, but so is Marner's, for instance. And like Marner, they can both deke you out of your jockstrap. He says he also plays on the PK, which is a plus because Toronto's PK just sucks, really. It's near the bottom third of the league, so that needs a tremendous improvement. And there you have it. So does this make players like, Andreas Johnsson and Sami Kapanen even more expendable? I mean, you heard rumors during this season that one of them would be traded for a very much needed, right-handed shot defenseman. That never materialized. But that could be more likely now that they've picked up this inexpensive player to throw in on the wing. We don't know what he's going to turn out like. He hasn't played yet. We'll see. But I've seen some footage. He looks good. He looks good. Let me know what you think about this guy down in the comment section down below. What you think the Leafs' next step might be in terms of, moving one of the, Johnson or Kapanen for either that defenseman they need or maybe some assets that they can turn into a defenseman. Who knows? That's it. That's all. Hit like if you like this video. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hey, don't forget to hit that notification bell, which will alert you when my next video comes up. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.